And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner here on the Highline Activity Network. And regardless of what it looks like outside, it is spring sports season. And we're going to kick things off. Well, what a way to kick things off with the defending state champions with girls tennis. Matt Nielsen joined us. Coach, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate you joining us. It's been a while since we've talked tennis. Well, we talked boys tennis in the fall. And you just had your awards night here, actually, because you've been so busy with stuff. You finally had a chance to award some of your kids from boys tennis.
Yep, kind of dropped the ball on that one. But boys tennis got over, and both of my daughters are in volleyball, and I just started coaching Lane's that youth fall league that we had for basketball. So I started coaching him right when boys tennis got over and kind of got on the back burner. And, I officiate also. So everything kind of hit the back burner. I had the awards and I had the booklets made for a while, but I was trying to find a time that would work well. So after the girls' state basketball got over, I was like, let's just do all the tennis stuff in once. So the boys got their booklets, and I do things different. I don't give out the plaques like MVP and things like that. Right. What I do, though, is I create a booklet, almost a yearbook, for tennis, where they have a lot of photos, they have all their stats, they have all my emails I send out about every single match, so they have all the data from that year. And I think that's a little more, I think they appreciate that more in the long run. Maybe in the short run, they're like, oh, it'd been cool to have a plaque, but I think in the long run, they have a book to always look back on, and they can always read about themselves. They can always see match scores. They have the pictures, too, of them and their buddies in tennis. So in 20 years or whatever, when their kids are looking at it, that their kids can go, oh, I didn't know you played tennis, and then they can see and read about it. And so that's how we do our awards night. And then the seniors also get a banner, which is pretty cool. So they get to put that up at their graduation and then keep that as a keepsake as well.
Well, you got girls tennis now. You've been practicing about a week, I think. You've been getting out there. You have been outside.
Yes. So this is our fourth day today.
Okay.
But yesterday we had the snow day, and then Monday we were actually outside. It was only about 34 degrees outside, or 36, or whatever it was, but there was no wind, so it wasn't that bad. So we got a lot of tennis ball hitting on Monday, and I even told the girls that, I go, we're going to be inside, so I go, we're going to forego the first day of practice talk. We're going to hit tennis balls, because the next couple days we're going to be inside, and then we'll do our administrative stuff and our expectations when we're inside instead of when we're actually on the tennis court. So we did that on Tuesday, and then today I'm actually taking 8 players to Jamestown today to hit in the bubble at the track in Jamestown, the Two Rivers Activity Center. I'm going to take my 8 there, so that way we play on real courts, and because those 8 are going to Minot tomorrow for a scrimmage. So we're going to go up, and I work with Scott Delorme. He's a great guy, great coach up in Minot. We've done it the last couple of years. The West always comes east for everything. They come east for the state tournament. They come east for the Cheyenne Invite, and Scott even comes east for the boys. He comes and plays us like really early in the season, so they're always traveling. I said, you know what? We need some good competition, some good scrimmage before, so we're going to go up and play Minot. And we did that for the first time last year as a scrimmage, and the way we run it is we bring 8, there's 4 courts. So then our girls get to play 2 doubles matches, actually I should say 2 double scrimmages, because we don't keep score, and it's 40-minute timed. Doesn't matter where you are. That's it, 40 minutes. So you play 40 minutes of doubles, then you play 40 minutes of singles, then you get to rest for 40 minutes, and then you do the same thing again. So you play with a different partner against a different team, 40 minutes doubles, and you get 40 minutes of singles, and that's how we roll. And then the awesome part about going up there, besides the great competition, is Dean Aberle from Homesteaders is Hannah Aberle's dad, and he supports us really well, so he's going to help out and give us a good deal on have lunch and supper up there, and he's just a super awesome guy and great with Homesteaders, and he does that and he actually helped out with the girls basketball team too, that we went up there, and he basically gave the whole team half off their meal. And so he just loves high school sports, and he has a big connection out of Valley City with Hannah, so we'd like to go up and support him as well.
And you'll be playing different teams, or you're going to be playing just Minot?
It was just Minot. I shouldn't say that's last year was our first year just playing Minot.
Okay.
The prior year we went up there and we did play 2 teams, but we didn't get nearly the court time. So that's when I talked to Scott and said, I'd rather come up and just play you guys and get all of the court time instead of having to split it with other teams. So that way our kids make it worth their time. Like, hey, we're driving 4 hours up. Let's get all the tennis we can and then come back. And I think it works out well because our teams are both very good, and it's good to have actual tennis on the first Friday because it gives the kids like things to work on. Like, oh my gosh, they're good at this. Okay, so how do we combat it? Or hey, my serve wasn't working at all. Okay, so let's get it fixed by next Friday. Because if you don't have a scrimmage before the first match, that first match is really the first time you really get excellent feedback. Because even when you play your partner or play your teammate, you're not getting the same feedback. It's not the same as playing an opponent. So like tomorrow is going to be excellent for our girls just to see where they are.
Well, of course, the trophy here from last year's state championship, and 4 seniors that graduated, so a wealth of talent that are going to be back this year.
Yes, so we had 4 seniors graduate. Of course, we had Breck Suffolk and Abby Martinick, which were the double state champion a couple of years ago, and then excellent role players in Alyssa Thompson and Ella Olson. Without any, and I said this, like when someone goes, well, what was the MVP of your team? And I go, everybody pulled through to get matches. If you look at the state tournament, we won 3-2 in the first round. Sky lost a match that she thinks she shouldn't have, and I agree that she probably shouldn't have, but her teammates all picked her up, and we won that first one 3-2. In the second round, we lost at 1 and 2 singles, and then Sky pulled that one out. So after she kind of flip-flop roles in the first 2 matches, but then Ella Olson and Alyssa Thompson had to play doubles in both of those with Breck and Abby. We split them up, and they did a fabulous job and won matches. And then in the state championship, we loaded the doubles, and Sky pulled out a singles. So, I mean, every single player did their job. So that was amazing last year. This year, we do lose those 4 seniors, so we still have Sky and Kaylee Nielsen and Georgia Zahn as our 3 big returners for this season. The other 2 are alternates from last year's state team was Sarah Byerly and Lexi Svenningson. So we have those 2. So there's 5, but we got to play 7. So we have to have a couple more coming out of the woodwork. And right now we don't know who exactly those would be. Tomorrow, because we're missing some kids for their state bowling that's going on, and also there's EDC music tomorrow. So we don't have a full complement. So we just said, you know what, these are the 3 extra that are going, and it doesn't mean that it's your varsity spot. It just means, hey, you get an opportunity to go up and play, get an opportunity to show us what you got, so we can really evaluate how well you're doing. And those 3 are going to be Chloe Liebersbach, Jossie Zahn, and then Sophie Gilbertson. So those will be our 3 that are coming tomorrow. And we'll see how they do, and if they do fantastic, they'll probably continue practicing with the varsity and see how it goes. And if not, maybe we'll reevaluate, bring somebody else up.
Did I hear 31 girls out for tennis, or what is the number?
The number is 31, so that is crazy. If you look at the boys' season, we had 26 of the boys, which was the highest ever. 31 puts us probably about just a little above average for girls. Usually we're probably about 28 to 30, so we're just a little above average there. But just to think about that, 57 of our athletes are coming from 7 through 12. So we have 57 total playing tennis in 7 through 12, which puts you well over 1 out of every 10 kids you see walking in the hall play tennis. So that's pretty awesome that over 10% of the student body are tennis players.
Well, at the awards night, it was also your USTA summer program meeting and so forth. And a good contingent here. I think tennis it's always been strong here, but I think it just continues to grow here in Valley City.
Yes, and we were surprised by how many people showed up that night. It was huge, and I put out, I think, like 70 chairs, and then we're looking at the VCTA meeting in between our boys meeting and girls meeting with the VCTA, so that way the boys could come and stay, and then the girls could come, and then they could do their meeting. But we had to put up another 3 rows of chairs to get everybody in here, so that was awesome to have that many people. And if you look at our Parks and Rec, I just talked to Matt Brandvold yesterday, and because we're moving things around because we're going to be practicing. Our JV will be in the rec center today, so that way they get to hit, not on a real court, but at least they get to hit tennis balls. So I was talking to him, and he said, tennis is definitely one of our strongest Parks and Rec programs by numbers and by what it produces, and a big part of it is because of how the Parks and Rec in our school really work together. If you look at the director, it's Hannah Aberly. So Hannah Aberly came through our program as a player. She's now our junior high coach for season, and then she's going to roll right into being the coordinator for the Parks and Rec season. So they're getting Highliner tennis all the way through. And then the 2 assistant coaches last year, it was Kaylee Nielsen and Sarah Byerly. Sky Nielsen did step in and help out here and there. I think this year it might be Kaylee and Sky again. I don't know for sure who it's going to be, but they both applied, so I assume they're going to be helping out. Maybe there's someone else who's going to come in and also help out with tennis, but we have a very strong contingency there. And then for the first time this year, I'm going to run through the Parks and Rec is going to be skills and drills for grades 7 through 12.
Okay.
And I put right on it, this is not come screw around time. This is for kids who want to work to get better, who want constructive criticism. We're going to be working footwork. We're going to be working technique and form. We're going to be working conditioning. Like, this is going to be hard 1.5 hours twice a week. Like,
Right.
but it's for the ones who really want to get better, not the ones who want to just come and play some tennis games and just hang out with their buddies. Like,
Right.
yeah, that's great part of tennis too.
Yeah.
But I want the skills and drills to be, hey, you're getting a lot better because you showed up today. So we're doing that through the Parks and Rec, and then also our singles league for the juniors is going to be ran through the Parks and Rec as well, which is really going to help their numbers out, but it helps me out to run it through them too, because last year I kind of did these things on my own, but I looked at that and go, well, you know what, if something were to happen, like, I'm kind of
Yeah.
putting myself out there, but now running through the Parks and Rec, like, I have some top coverage, and so it just helps out having a great partnership like that with the Parks and Rec.
Well, of course, the state championship and then all the accolades that came afterwards, as we talked about, the North Dakota Sportscaster Sports Writers Association Coach of the Year, Team of the Year, USTA Northern gave the team an award that they presented at the awards night. Have you now said, okay, last year was fantastic, 17-0 state champ, but now we got to worry about 2025?
Yep, and that's why I thought I'd bring it today, because I figured this would be the one time we'd talk about last year's state championship, so that way next week we still won't have a match under our belt, so we'll talk a little Minot next week, but then it's going to be completely look forward on the show. But like the first few days of practice, we haven't even mentioned the state championship. We go, this is our team right now. It's our new team, and we care about you right now and care about developing you to the best we can be. And like we've always said, the results take care of themselves when you do the right things. So we're not going to talk about, oh, we were state champs last year, we should do it again. No, we don't. We didn't even talk about the state championship last year. We just go, we're just going to play this match. We're going to play this point, and we're going to let whatever happens. And I think the girls really bought into that last year, which means when we got into pressure situations, we let the pressure roll off of us. And I think the opponents sometimes did not, because our girls knew that, hey, in the moment, I just got to play this point, and that's all I got to do. And that means big points come up. You play loose, the other team does not, you're probably going to win that point.
Right. Davies, the first match on the 15th, or what's coming
we got
up?
next Friday is going to be at Grand Forks Red River.
The 11th, okay.
On the 11th is Grand Forks Red River. It's going to be up at Grand Forks Red River. That one should be a fun one. It's going to be a cool day for me, because Coach Abley will take them on the bus.
Okay.
But my daughter's now a junior, Kaylee. She has the UND Junior Day is that same day. So I'm actually going to go up early with Kaylee, take a personal day and
be a dad,
and then get to go do the UND tour with Kaylee, and then we'll roll right from the UND tour right to the tennis match, and then go play the tennis match. So that should be a great day, and for me and Kaylee, and Annette's going to be there too, my wife. So we're all going to go up and enjoy that, and then go play some tennis, and so that'll be day one.
That'll be a fun one. It'll be interesting to hear how everything went.
Yes,
with that.
And I think both Annette and I would hope Kaylee, because she wants to be an English teacher. Hope she picks VCSU, but we're going to support her no matter what she chooses.
Not a science teacher?
Hey, I got her playing good tennis. I don't know what else you want from me.
Yeah, let's not push her into anything else. Let's just stay right there. Well, again, we're just scratching the surface, Matt. The season's just getting started here with practice. I said day 4 was today, but now you got the scrimmage tomorrow. So next week we'll talk that, and we'll talk getting ready for the 2025 tennis season.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
You bet. Matt Nielsen, head coach in the Highlander Girls Tennis, back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network, and now we're into Highlander Track and Field, and Coach Trevor Bacalar joining us. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well.
You're here.
I'm doing well. I'm here. Yeah, we're stuck inside, so.
Well, we've had a couple of indoor meets so far this year, including the Class A indoor meet. And you only take, when you go to that Class A, you don't take a full roster. You just take not a handful, but 15, 20 athletes.
Typically, yeah, we do. This year was a little bit different only because with prom and other things going on, we had some conflict. So we did slide some kids over. Typically, there's a JV meet in the morning where we take a bulk of our kids. Yep. And this time we slid them over to Friday and just had to cancel Saturday, unfortunately. That's a really good meet for a lot of those young kids, but it's just scheduling this year has been our toughest opponent. So we'll keep rolling with it, as best we can. And the kids that we did take, though, performed pretty well there, and we've had a lot of success. Given that we've been able to get outside when we could, but now obviously we're back inside here this week. So
yeah, and we're supposed to have 2 meets this week at home that went bye-bye.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. We schedule those, and then maybe every few years we get to actually have them,
right?
Or go somewhere. So. Yeah, we try to schedule as much as we can, and I tell the kids, you got to be flexible, and we'll go where we can, when we can, with who we got. So we have that coming up next week. It could be a busy week for us.
How are the numbers? Looks like numbers are fairly good.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. I was surprised. Our numbers are pretty good right now. Pretty heavy on the seniors and juniors with some sophomores. A little bit lighter on the freshman side, but that seems to pick up. I don't know what it is, but there's a trend where they start to come out a little bit later on, typically. But yeah, we're doing pretty well, I think, overall. And I think we're able to fill some more events with some kids, and that's nice to see for us. Typically we might have, maybe 40, maybe 50 at the most, and now we're traveling 60, going to meets. So that's nice. Yeah.
Is the indoor season more like a preseason? Yes, you want to do well, but is it just getting you ready? Now, granted, running indoors and outdoors are 2 entirely different things.
Absolutely.
But is it still just getting in shape and kind of getting ready for the outdoor season?
Yeah, I've told the kids that this is practice. We're practicing. They want to. Let's taper. We can't do much before a meet. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but, this is practice, right? That's all it is. So we want to perform well. You want to do well. They're trying to set personal records, some of those things. And we've had some records get broke already on our school records, which is nice to see some of those kids pick up right away. But it is practice. It's getting ready for the outdoor season. That's where we can qualify, get ready for state, all those things that we can fine-tune. And, yeah, once you get outside, it's a different story. Running on some of those 200-meter tracks, it's nice up at UND. It's a 300. You can kind of stretch it out a little bit more, which is nice, and we'll be up there this Saturday for EDC.
The EDC, is there a junior varsity and a varsity? Junior varsity Fridays?
Yeah, so there's some other schools in the same situation like we were in last weekend where they have proms, the Fargo schools. So some of them are opting not to attend, and they'll go to NDSU meet on Friday. We had that on our schedule too, tentatively, but now they've opened up because there's limitations typically for our indoor meets, which unfortunately leaves some kids at home. But now they've opened it up, so we'll just take everybody on Saturday, and they'll all get to perform at EDC. And yeah, I think it should be a pretty good meet. It'll feel a little bit different without some of the schools there, but it'll still be pretty good competition.
Where are you seeing a strength to this team right now? Where is the biggest events where you feel are going to get some numbers for you?
That's a tough one. Because honestly, like, we're kind of all around right now. Distance kids are performing pretty well. Especially without being able to really get out and run a whole lot. Sprinters have been performing well as some of the boys and even some of the girls, but our field events I've noticed have picked up a little bit. So with like Dylan Hunt and the shot put and some of the other kids throwing, Katie's kind of picked up right where she left off. But we're starting to see a little trend there, especially with the jumpers now getting in there. And so I think our field events are picking up a little bit. I think we're going to do pretty well on the track. Now we just need a little bit more. We're looking for a few kids, some of these young kids, who's going to step in and maybe fill some relays and things like that. So, yeah. And
then Katie Coca at the pole vault, that's kind of her big thing. Where I think she set the school record last year.
Yes, she did. And
10-3 or something like that.
She's performing pretty well, and we don't have our pit even here. We haven't had that, but she's doing well. When things start clicking in some of those events, we tell kids, right? It's like, riding a bike. Okay, you understand the concept, you know what you need to do, and so now you're just working on trying to fine tune things. And we're hoping to be able to get outside and with all of our stuff, but that's not going to happen. So,
darn it.
Yeah, I know this lovely weather. So,
when was their first anticipated outdoor meet?
It was going to be actually on the 1st. Yeah,
yeah,
we
on
wanted
Tuesday.
to have that. Yeah. So right now we're looking at potentially going to Jamestown on the 10th, and then we have also West Fargo scheduled on the 11th.
Okay.
So both those days right now look about the same, and now we'll just have to wait and see kind of a determination what's going to be the best, and maybe we might go to both. I don't know, because we can use some of that where we take kids Thursday, hey, just do a couple of events, and now let's go Friday, let's do something a little different, so we don't have to, bulk and put 4 events in there. Now they can slow it down a little bit, right? Focus on a couple things, so it's nice to be able to do that as well. And then we'll head Tuesday. Right now we're looking at going to Concordia. They're doing a late spring meet because of the weather, but that's turned into a like a performance list. So I don't know if you remember, like the Fargo Elite Meet, So we enter our kids and we find out who makes it on Monday.
Sure.
So that's kind of a tough one, but we'll take who we can.
Okay. Yeah. And that's an indoor?
That's indoor,
yeah. That's indoor on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. And we'll see. Maybe we can get outside late next week. I'm
talking
hoping
60s.
So. They are. We just need this stuff to go away and the ground to kind of, get better and thaw out. I think the tracks will be okay. Pits will be all right. Yeah. But, just all around the facilities, and I don't even have our water on yet. So we're not even in a position to be able to do something right away. So.
And I'm guessing as soon as you start, it's go time and it's going to happen quickly in about a month.
It does get fast and furious. It does, and it's a lot of afternoons.
Yeah.
And if we have the potential to host something, we'll do it too. We'll just pop up and call a few teams, have them come over, run a dual or triangular, which is nice, and we have that ability to do that. So.
And then I think May 12th you have the last chance.
Yeah, that's our big one at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's really nice. I like having that home meet, and we'll have a big junior high meet on April 22nd as well.
Okay.
So those two should happen, and everything else in between, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. I know the kids are, and so that's good. And you too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. I'm like, May 12th. Put that on your calendar.
There you go.
Mark it down. Mark it down. I'm busy that day, so I'm going to be at the track.
There we go.
We're again scratching surface, just like all sports, spring sports. You're just kind of getting going. But next week, hopefully, we're talking. You're going to be going somewhere outdoor, but always it's fun to talk about it. You're getting in there and you look at the names of these individuals, and you got a lot of. Kids that have really been performing well so far here in the early part of the indoor season.
Oh yeah, yep. They're doing well, placing in the meets. A lot of personal records again. To start the season like we have is great. And I think some of that, has been able to have some of that training outside, which has helped. But a lot of the kids are just, they've matured a little bit, get a little bit stronger, just a little bit quicker on their own.
Right.
And so we're just working on trying to maintain some of those things right now. And when we get outside, we can try to improve that as well. So, but I'm very, very happy. The coaches are happy. I'm pretty proud of how the kids have performed. And we'll just keep things going.
Keep it going.
Yep, that's all we can do, day by day, week by week. So.
All right. Well, Coach, I appreciate it, and we look forward to talking to you throughout the spring.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Coach Trevor Baclar joining us from Highlander Track. Back with more Coach's Corner from the Hack on a Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner here on the Highlander Activity Network, and baseball season is started. They have been practicing here for a couple of weeks, and I think the first game was supposed to be today with Davies, but obviously now that's, I think, Monday. as when it's been rescheduled. So we'll wait and see what happens. We're here with a couple of seniors, with Trevor Fetch and Bodie Hagelin. I think you're the only two seniors, aren't you guys?
Yes.
So a young baseball club. Trevor, we'll start with you as you get ready here for the your final season playing Highlander baseball. What are you looking forward with this team? What kind of goals do you think are in your mind as a team getting ready for this season?
I think for us as a team, our first goal is going to be to make EDC. We got a lot of young guys, a lot of young pitchers especially, so a lot will depend on how they can perform and if they can step up. We have a really young team with 3 juniors and 2 seniors, so we're going to have to rely a lot on the sophomores and freshmen to step up and be guys, even though they're young. But
And Bodie, you too, as far as a senior, leadership role, maybe helping these younger guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to see these boys come up and play with us and just have fun for the season.
Right.
And
it's just playing ball. You're just getting out there and getting a chance to get outside. Have you been outside yet?
Yes.
Okay, you have had a few days out there.
Yep, a couple times on the field.
Okay.
So that was nice.
Because I know hitting in a cage is one thing, but hitting against live pitching outside is entirely different, isn't it, Trevor?
Yeah, and if we wouldn't be able to get outside, that would have been a problem. But we've had some nice days before it just snowed last night, and it should melt pretty quick. And our first game Monday, and I think we'll be ready enough to figure it out on the go.
And playing in EDC, I'm trying to put this whole enrollment thing. This wouldn't affect you guys, but it looks like we might go Class B next year. But this is an EDC season, and Bodie, what could be your last year in the EDC, you guys really want to compete well and show these bigger schools what we can do here in Valley City?
Oh yeah, yeah. Being a smaller school, it'll really be cool competing against these big ones.
Yeah.
Well, and it has been too.
Yes, you have shown you can compete too in the past. You've done very well because baseball is one of those sports that doesn't know size; it shows talent, and I know we got a lot of talent here in Valley City in baseball. Outfielder, if memory serves, because you got some wheels. You like to get out there and run around.
Yep.
What are you looking forward to mostly here in your final year as a Highlander baseball player?
I'm just hoping the snow melts, because if not, it's going to be a rough outfield.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I'm just ready to have fun, play ball, and make some good plays in the outfield.
Yeah. And are you going to be at second base, Trevor?
I'll be at between outfield, second base, and third base.
Do you kind of like that, being the utility kind of a guy? I mean, you're an everyday player, but a utility kind of guy?
Yeah, I just like being wherever I can be to help the team succeed. I'll play wherever the coach needs me. It doesn't matter to me about where I'm playing as long as I can help the team win.
And one of the few lefties batting, too, on the team, if memory serves.
Yeah.
You and Andrew Sikora, I think,
Andrew, the only
are the
lefties.
two lefties swingers. And you have kind of that almost I used to call it the Ichiro slap thing. Is that something that you feel use your speed, too, if you can just get the ball on the ground and run?
Yeah, speed never slumps, so just hit the ball on the ground and go, or get the ball in the outfield. Doesn't matter. Just find a way on base so you can score and we can get wins. It's all it really
It slumps
comes
if you
down
have a
to.
hammy.
Yeah.
If you pull a hammy, then it slumps a little bit. But and two now, Trevor. You're with you guys. Both you guys been playing baseball in Valley City for a lot of years, and growing up through playing the sport. Is it kind of tough to wrap your head right now, Trevor? Last year playing varsity baseball for the Highlanders. Granted, you may have Legion and stuff down the road, but just as a Highliner.
Yeah, it'll be weird for sure being the last season, but I feel like it hasn't really clicked with me yet, with it being the beginning of the season and also having 2 years of Legion left. I still really haven't thought about it too much as being the end.
We'll worry about it down the road. And you too, Bodie, your swimming career wrapped up here this year, not the way you wanted it to. We won't get into that. But you qualified for state, but just couldn't get in the pool because you kind of got sick there that weekend. But you too, as a senior and you're wrapping up your athletic career, what are your thoughts?
I just think it's cool being like the top dog kind of, and being able to show the younger guys what it's like to be on field and just play and show them how to do things. So
is having fun really a main focus for you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, who doesn't like playing baseball? Come on, I mean, it's a fun sport to have. Any goals? Have you guys talked about, Bodie? I'll start with you. As a team, has there been anything set? You mentioned the EDC tournament. Anything else, or is it let's just play and see what happens?
Mostly just win.
Yeah. Yeah, as much as you can.
Yes, get out there and win.
And to do that, you got to do a lot of things right?
Yes.
The fundamentals
Yes.
Of baseball. Seth Soderholm again, head coach for Highlander baseball, and I want to say his third or fourth year. So pretty much your varsity careers, Seth, has been your head coach.
Yep.
And but you're going to be wrapping it up this year. Again, Monday is the schedule game with Davies. Do we have an idea when we might see that first game? And that's here at Charlie Brown. Is it supposed to be?
Yes.
Because it was supposed to be at Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
So that'll be a home game here on Monday night, and we'll wait and see if you get a chance to play that. But guys, I appreciate you. We're just scratching the surface, just getting going here. When we get some games in, it'll be easier to talk about the season. But appreciate you stopping by and get to school now. You guys got kind of class here in about a half hour, so thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
As Trevor Fetch and Bodie Haglin joining us from Highlander Baseball. Back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network.
They just did.
Back here on the Highlander Activity Network, and again, wrapping up this edition of Coach's Corner. And just a reminder, if you have missed it and you heard the news, again, the Highlander girls had their appeal here with the High School Activities Association because of the performance they've had over the last couple of years. The Highlander girls basketball team was in a position where they were going to be moved back up to Division AA, of course, going back into the EDC. But there is an appeal process. That appeal process happened, and Activities Director Rob Hunt addressed the classification committee on Tuesday and talked to them about all the things that Highlander sports in general, but mostly basketball, and a lot of points that he hit on, performance, history, enrollment, a lot of things that went into that appeals. And, of course, if you haven't heard, the Highlanders did win that appeal, so they will be staying in Division A, Region 1 again. So next year they'll be back into that Division 1 coming off the state championship this year. That's kind of the big news. Devils Lake, boys and girls, they will be staying where they are. Kindred boys are going to be staying where they are. Also, West Hope Newburgh, state champs 2 years ago and then came runners-up last year. They are going to be staying put in Division B, as is Bishop Ryan. All the teams that appealed didn't win their appeals and will be staying in their divisions here that they have been for the last 2 seasons. Well, spring sports, again, nothing really has gone on because of the weather, but hopefully next week we'll be talking baseball, softball. They are actually, if schedule is going to stay, they were supposed to be playing again here today. That game has been postponed until the 28th of April, and they are scheduled to play on Friday at the Nelson Family Center. That's the Bubble in Jamestown. Softball is scheduled to play Des Lacs Burlington at 6 and Thompson at 8 o'clock at the Bubble in Jamestown. So softball will have a couple of games in this weekend, and then we'll talk more about that here next week as we, of course, go Autumn Perry and beginning her 3rd season as the head softball coach here for Valley City. So we're just scratching the surface, just getting things done, and we'll be back with more Coach's Corner and talk more about games and not preseason next week here on Coach's Corner. And a final reminder, don't forget on highliners.org, we have our referendum vote website or link that you can go on there if you want to get more information. Again, that referendum coming up June 10th. We have interviews on there and a lot of information about what's going on with the proposed referendum here that you will be voting on as school district residents and Valley City residents coming up on June 10th. So don't forget, go to highliners.org, and there is a button there, a tab for the referendum, and get all the information you need to make you an informed voter coming up on June 10th. I want to thank our coaches that are joining us here this morning on Coach's Corner. Matt Nielsen from Highlander Tennis, Trevor Bacalar from Highlander Track and Field, and our 2 baseball players, Trevor Fetch and Bodie Haglin, the 2 seniors on the Highlander baseball team. Of course, Brian Crewell, our executive producer and technical director, camera operator here today as usual, and we will be back again next week with another edition of Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network.